And welcome to episode number 1 of GM mode here on WWE 2K24. And finally, ECW is in GM mode, and we can finally get the classic SVR 2008 GM mode with Smackdown, Raw, and ECW. So we're going to be taking ECW with Xavier Woods going up against both Raw and Smackdown. And you know, again, if we're going to do Smackdown, it's gotta be Theodore Long, right? So yeah, Theodore Long's gonna be the GM of SmackDown, and then for Raw, we're just gonna pick someone random. You got William Regal, we're gonna do him, I guess. You could have picked Mick Foley, Tyler Breeze, Stephanie McMahon, Eric Bischoff. Yeah, Ted DiBiase. Let's go with the man himself, William Regal. We're not gonna do 4 brands, we're only gonna do 3 because again, classic SVR 2008 style with ECW back in the fold. And now, back at SVR 2008, it was always, you know, when I was growing up playing the game, it was always kind of difficult because, you know, ECW only had 1 championship. At SmackDown and Raw, you had the mid-card championships, you had the women's championship on Raw, you had the tag team and the cruiserweight championships on SmackDown, and I guess you had tag teams on both brands, but still, ECW just had 1 title. Now, I'm assuming now they're gonna have other championships as well, so let's get into the draft. Of course, limited draft pool. We have the first pick. If truly you get to pick anyone on this roster, you're taking Cody Rhodes, right? You got to. And folks, if you haven't yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more GM mode here on the channel. We're gonna do this every single day as long as you guys like it here on the channel. Cody Rhodes, the number 1 pick over to Extreme Championship Wrestling. There goes Seth Rollins to SmackDown, and Finn Balor gonna go to Monday Night Raw. So our number 2 pick, you know, you kind of want to build both the men's and the women's division. So if you're building a women's division here based on the wrestlers in this pool, definitely not taking Ronda Rousey. I'm probably taking Rhea Ripley over Becky Lynch or Asuka. If I'm building a brand, I'm taking Rhea Ripley. So SmackDown, they're going to go Alexa Bliss. For Monday Night Raw, they are going to go with Bayley. So all women picked in the 2nd round. 3rd round, gotta look to build up this roster, but also save some money in the process. But again, we want some decent wrestlers on this show to accompany the 2 faces of the brand in Cody Rhodes and Rhea Ripley. You got wrestlers like Nikki Cross that work well in ring with Rhea, but again, you want a big time wrestler, superstar here, and we're gonna take Drew McIntyre. McIntyre is gonna be our 3rd pick. Tamina to SmackDown, and Monday Night Raw gonna go Julius Creed. So some interesting picks on their ends. Back here, we have our 4th round pick. Probably should go another woman, maybe, but you can get a guy like Shinsuke Nakamura in this spot who does do well against Drew McIntyre. Logan Paul we could go with. I'm going to go with Shinsuke Nakamura. I feel like we're just building the Monday Night Raw roster at this point. Logan Paul going to go to Friday nights, and on Monday they're going to go with Montez Ford. So our 5th pick, again, we've got 4 very credible wrestlers. Looking for another one here. If we go women's division, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go Candice LeRae. Again, another wrestler on Monday Night Raw in real life, but it's fine. Here with Raw, they're going to go Io Sky. So our 6th pick, we don't have that much money left. We only have 1.2 million, but we'll make it work. I think we have to get at least 9 wrestlers on roster. So again, trying to save some money. Dakota Kai is probably the pick here. It's a cheap option and someone who does work well at the roster we already have. I didn't see Carmelo Hayes at first, and I probably should have picked him. I probably should have picked Tiffany Stratton as well, or even Cora Jade, but yeah, we're gonna go here probably with one Dakota Kai here. I mean, it makes sense with the pick. Or actually, no, we're gonna go Damian Priest. Yeah, okay. Again, building the Monday Night Raw roster. Drew Gulak going to go to SmackDown. Raw going to go with Charlotte Flair. I think this is where we're going to go to Dakota Kai, I do believe. And we're going to go Big E. Okay, I spoiled it though. Dakota Kai is coming, and there she is right there. Dakota Kai will be the next member of the ECW roster. There's our first 8. Our last pick, because we don't have that much money, we're going to go with the Grayson Waller effect. Grayson Waller. So we did get some non-Raw wrestlers on roster in both Waller and Dakota Kai, but that's our 9. Now there's Raw. They're led by Bayley and Finn Balor. SmackDown will go 13 picks as they're going to round out their 13 with Duke Hudson. They're led by Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, and Alexa Bliss. And this is the season mode. Obviously, you're going to see some free agents and whatnot. We have to pick our champions. We're, of course, going to make Cody Rhodes the face of the brand. And so we have the world title, tag champs, and a television championship, a mid-card male title. We don't have a women's belt. if I knew that, I wouldn't have picked any women's wrestlers, because now they're fighting for nothing. They don't have a championship to compete for. So we're gonna make Waller and Nakamura our tag champs and put Big E as the television champ. It is what it is. Now, you can now look for scouts to get other members of your roster. So we can look to get MVP, Shayna Baszler, Tommaso Ciampa, and Bobby Lashley for shorter term deals. Obviously, for 5 weeks, we can pay Tommaso Ciampa $72,000 to join the roster. And this is the card we have so far. In the main event, big marquee matchup, our big rivalry that's going to push us forward is going to be Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. The mid card feud for now, I think, is going to be Shinsuke and Big E. We need rosters. We need wrestlers to fill out the roster. We got Ciampa, Bobby Lashley, or Shayna Baszler. Who are we going to add? I think we need another woman on the roster because we only have 3. So let's get that even number and pick up Shayna Baszler. So Baszler is going to be on the roster as well. We're going to have Damian Priest cut a promo, at least on our brand. He's not going to be parading around with the Money in the Bank briefcase and not cashing it in. So we're in Chicago, Illinois, not in the Hammerstein Ballroom, but it's fine. Our first match is Tommaso Ciampa and Grayson Waller. Ciampa is, of course, working face. He wins in a disappointing match. From what I know from GM mode, you just got to book the same match over and over and over again with different stipulations, and eventually the rating is going to improve. Candice LeRae beats Dakota Kai. Disappointing, though. We want the feud, though, to be Rhea Ripley and Candice LeRae. We did not put the title on the line for Big E, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Shinsuke is going to win the non-title bout with 2.5 stars. Shayna Baszler is going to cut a promo, which isn't really what she excels in. In the main event, in an Extreme Rules match for the world title, Cody Rhodes is going to retain the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. Okay, on to SmackDown, and now on paper, this card is horrible. Seth Rollins and Josh Briggs beat both Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Logan Paul. Carmelo Hayes versus Veer. Remember when Veer was coming for a whole year? If you don't get that joke, just look it up. But triple threat match, Gulak and Duke Hudson and Creed. Okay, Hudson's gonna win their main event. They're main eventing Tamina and Alexa Bliss. That's a whole half-star match. Okay, it's gonna get 4. Didn't that get more than every single match on our card? On Raw, they're running a tag team match, Natalya and Charlotte versus Io and Bayley. At least it makes a little bit of sense for the women's tag team championships. Elton Prince taking on Julius Creed. So the Creeds have been split up, and Julius Creed is going to win on Monday Night Raw. Trick Williams, Joe Coffey is a match for the United States Championship. Trick Williams is going to win that U.S. Championship over for Raw. And the main event is a 4-way for the world title. Montez Ford, Nathan Frazier, Ilya Dragunov, and Finn Balor is the face of Monday Night Raw, and he's going to win. Now, we got blown out this week. We only excelled, I guess, well with our mid-card, and that's about it. I'm going to skip through all this tutorial nonsense. Just know that we're going to be in last place after the beginning of this season. Yeah, SmackDown's on top with Seth Rollins leading the helm, but they main evented a match between Tamina and Alexa Bliss. And SmackDown's going to do a power-up card on us, I guess. Bargain bin special effects. That's cool. It's fine. Going on to our inbox now, Dakota Kai wants a rematch with Candice LeRae. I accidentally hit no, so morale's going down on that one. We still have 4 weeks, though, with both Shayna Baszler and Tommaso Ciampa. So running this back here, week 2, again, gotta get the world title match in the main event from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre for the world title. And now, I don't think we have to fill out all the promo spots. I think those are really just to enhance your talent, and I don't think those are necessary for ratings. So we're not gonna book too many of those, and we're gonna put more priority on the matches, as Candice LeRae is gonna wrestle Rhea Ripley. Again, we don't have a women's title though, which is kind of a problem, but they're already on the roster, so we kind of have to book them. Again, they're just not wrestling for a championship though. It's like when you had SmackDown on SVR 2007 or 08 or 06, and you know, you had SmackDown, you had women on the roster, and they have no title to fight for because it's on Raw. But anyways, we're going to have Shinsuke cut a promo trying to call out the champion or the TV champion in Big E. Also on the card, Big E versus Damian Priest. I guess that can work. Actually, we're going to have Ciampa call out Waller. Yeah, because we already set that up. First match of the card. We don't really have anything, so actually we might switch that again. Unless we do Waller and Shinsuke. So yeah, again, we just have to figure out this entire card because we only have limited guys on our roster. And again, if we can just book matches first and then go to promos after, it's probably going to benefit us. So we're going to open with Dakota Kai and Shayna Baszler, which, given I don't think is going to sell too many tickets, as we have promoted our arena from high school gym to concert hall. So there's that. We're running NWA style arenas now. Actually, that's probably too much for the NWA at this point. But Dakota Kai versus Shayna Baszler. Shayna is going to win. Only one promo on the card, which is Ciampa and Waller. And I messed up. We had Shinsuke Nakamura last week go over the TV champion, and he's not even on the card this week. And Damian Priest instead is going to beat the TV champion and become the TV champion. So Priest has the ECW TV or hardcore belt, whatever you want to call it. He beats Big E. Candice LeRae's 2-0. She goes over Rhea Ripley. And the main event, Rhodes, McIntyre, and all the heels are winning, I guess. At least in the title matches, McIntyre Rhodes gets 3.5 stars. Let's go on to SmackDown. I mean, this is just horrible. Duke Hudson and Seth Rollins are going to win. I mean, wasn't Rollins teaming with Briggs last week? Triple threat, Mysterio, Hayes, and Fear's going over. I mean, really? Tag match, Indy Hartwell, Tamina, Bliss, Stratton, and Tamina and Hartwell are going to win. And that's 2.5 stars. Main event for the IC title, Brutus Creed is going to win the championship over Logan Paul. Going on to Monday Night Raw, this card's a little bit better, I guess. Like, they're going to open with Finn Balor and Julius Creed. Balor's going to defend the championship. Got a great tag team match here between Ivar and Elton Prince versus Ilya Dragunov and Nathan Frazier. Ivar and Elton Prince are going to become the Raw Tag Team Champs. U.S. Championship on the line, Trick Williams, Joe Coffey. Trick Williams is going to win it and retain his belt. So all title matches here for Raw. Flair and Bayley, or actually this is for the Women's Championship. It's a 4-way. Bayley is going to win the championship. Now, our mid-card match was good. Like, our first mid-card at least. Big E and Priest was better than the others, and our main event between Rhodes and McIntyre was good too. The rest of the card, though, is lacking a lot. We got a power-up card because we completed all of the Triple H goals, but again, still in third place is ECW, and now we go down to Houston, Texas. Again, after 2 mediocre shows, but you know what we're setting up for? Again, we're setting up for the big pay-per-view spot where McIntyre and Rhodes are going to wrestle. But again, the point of, unfortunately, this is how it goes on GM mode, is you kind of want to book the same thing over and over again, and again, just switch up the stipulation. So we're going to do Rhodes and McIntyre in the main event, even though we don't have that much money, unfortunately. And this is probably a mistake on my end, but we're going to book a tag team match. We're going to have the tag team champions in Grayson Waller, and if I can get it right, Grayson Waller and Shinsuke Nakamura, because I had Damian Priest there. Nakamura and Waller versus Ciampa and Big E, further progressing the feud between Big E and Shinsuke Nakamura. Again, no title on the line anymore in that because Priest holds the TV championship, and we just need more wrestlers. So I guess we could go out and scout more guys, but we can fill out the card here, though. You do LeRae and Ripley, and then you just do Baszler and Dakota Kai, and Damian Priest is kind of just on the outside looking in. He can do a promo for himself after he has won the ECW Television Championship. But not a horrible card. It's really not. Again, getting the tag teams involved with this. I guess we're going to do an email campaign to try to get people out, or no, we're going to get fog effects. I don't really know how that helps us all that much, but it is what it is. I bought it. So this will be the ECW card here from Houston, Texas. We'll see if Cody can get the belt back, and the tag titles are on the line in a tables match, and new champs. Tommaso Ciampa and Big E are going to win the championships. Candice LeRae's on a 2-match winning streak, and she will go into a 3-match winning streak, beating Rhea Ripley yet again. Damian Priest did an all-right promo. Shayna Baszler, Dakota Kai, don't know where we're going with this feud. Dakota Kai is going to win. Okay, 2.5 stars, we'll take it. McIntyre Rhodes in a submission match, and Cody Rhodes is going to regain the title. So we go from Rhodes to McIntyre to Rhodes. Rhodes is now a 2-time ECW champion. On to SmackDown, they filled out the entire card. Logan Paul is going to take back the Intercontinental Championship. Tamina is going to do a promo. Triple threat match between Drew Gulak. I'm not even going to go over the rest of the guys. Gulak's going to win. Indy Hartwell is going to do a charity promo, which was weak. The WWE Championship is not in the main event, which is ridiculous, but Seth Rollins is going to beat Dominic Mysterio. They do a tag team promo, and the main event in Extreme Rules match is Veer going over Carmelo Hayes. So SmackDown's objective is just to squash as much as possible Carmelo Hayes and let Veer go over. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that's a banger of a match. Like, Finn Balor, Ilya Dragunov, I can live with losing to that. Like, I'm not gonna lie. But the rest of this card, other than, okay, Flair Sky's not bad. What the hell is going on with the final 2 matches of this card, though? They started off so well. I'm not gonna lie to you. Raw started off very well, and now we go to Julius Creed and Nathan Frazier losing the belts to Ivar and Elton Prince. I got nothing to say. Main event, women's title match. This is something WWE would book. Bayley and Natalya. Bayley retains the gold. Our show compared to the rest, not bad. We're getting better. Our main event was very good. 4 stars between Rhodes and McIntyre. Now I believe we have the final show before the pay-per-view is coming up next. And we're gonna get XP. That's great. So yeah, again, still 3rd place though, which sucks. But let's go to Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Back in Canada for this one, and Triple H is telling us to sit Cody out this week because of Rhodes' stamina being down, and we don't unfortunately have a power card to give Rhodes that stamina back. So we're gonna be without Cody Rhodes here on the Go Home show before the pay-per-view, which is a little annoying because again, Rhodes and McIntyre is our big money feud, and we're gonna have to go this week without the main event guys, as we can give Cody some XP, but that's not gonna give him any stamina or whatnot. So again, likely you'll see Damian Priest in the main event this week because he does have the television championship and he did not wrestle last week. So I think that's what we're gonna go to first, probably. But first, actually, we can put Cody in a promo because it's not gonna affect him at all if he's in a promo in terms of his health. So we can do McIntyre with the promo, and then we can do Big E and Priest for the television championship in the main event. And from here, you kind of just fill out the rest of the card. You got Ciampa and Waller. Then Nakamura actually doesn't have an opponent. That's something that we can go to in the future. I'm not going to lie. I mean, WWE ran that recently, but we can definitely go to Nakamura and Rhodes soon. We don't have the money to really go after free agents, so we just kind of have to book with what we have. We're going to do this just to get Nakamura involved. We're going to do Ciampa versus Waller versus Nakamura in a tables match, because why not? And then we're going to run our 2 women's matches because, I mean, what else are we going to do at this point? Right? Cody's going to do a self promo on his own right and just keep the card going. Main event, though, for the TV title, you got Damian Priest defending against Big E. And again, we are very tight with our competitors over on Friday Night SmackDown and Monday Night Raw. So opening things off here with one half the tag champs, Tommaso Ciampa, taking on Waller and Nakamura, and Ciampa is going to win against 2.5 stars. LeRae and Ripley, it's a one-sided rivalry. Candice LeRae is undefeated. She finally loses to Rhea Ripley. Now, what are we going to do with Ripley? You can make trades this season or this year for my GM, so might be something we look to trade Rhea Ripley, just because again, the women's division for us doesn't really mean that much. McIntyre had a bad promo against Rhodes. In the main event, Big E is going to regain the television championship. So both of our solo titles or singles titles have gone from the original champion, Big E and Cody Rhodes, to the heel and Damian Priest / Drew McIntyre back on the face in Rhodes, and Big E going into the pay-per-view. Which, I mean, you probably know what we're going to go with those matches, but it's fine. SmackDown first ran Seth and Mysterio in the opener. Let me guess, Hayes is going to lose again. Yes, he will, to Veer. Main event for SmackDown is Logan Paul and Brutus Creed for the Intercontinental Championship. That title has switched hands back and forth, but Logan Paul is going to retain the belt this time around. As we're going to check out Monday Night Raw's card real quick. They fill it out. Trick Williams, Joe Coffey for the U.S. Championship. Trick Williams is going to win. They're going to run the promo with Dragunov and Finn Balor. Again, a feud that I would honestly be very invested in, I'm not going to lie. Ivar is going to win that match against Nathan Frazier. That's great. Elton Prince, who is the other half of the tag team champions alongside Ivar, cuts a promo. Montez Ford, who we haven't seen all that often, beats Julius Creed. Apparently they're in a rivalry. Balor's doing a promo. Main event, women's tag team titles on the line. Bayley and Io Sky retain against Natalya and Charlotte Flair. So comparing our card against the rest, not bad. I think our opener wasn't very good, the tables match, but the main event was very good between Big E and Damian Priest. People are happy seeing Big E reclaim the championship in the main event, but I still don't think it's enough to get us past that last place mark, at least for now. We get a power up, sold out. Okay, but still, I believe we're in last place. Yes, we are. Barely trailing SmackDown, and Raw is really putting it together right now. So Tommaso Ciampa, contract coming up. We're going to try to lowball him just because, again, we are very low on money, and it's going to work. So Tommaso Ciampa is coming back, and then Shayna Baszler is going to try to lowball her too. And she wants more money. That's the problem. And we kind of have to give it to her because we need to complete the feud between her and Dakota Kai at the pay-per-view. So it is what it is. Damian Priest wants his rematch for the television championship. We were already planning to do that here on the pay-per-view from Dallas, Texas. They're going to call it Hell in a Cell. That's fine by me. In the main event, not Big E versus Damian Priest. That'll be the opener for the television title. And our main event, obviously, we're going to go with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre for the ECW championship. Tommaso Ciampa and Grayson Waller will go at it. And then you get basically just our 2 women's matches here. Ripley and LeRae in the first one, and then Dakota Kai and Shayna Baszler, and Shinsuke Nakamura, unfortunately, is on the outside looking in. He's the one odd man out with this whole equation, but I mean, there's really nothing I can do about it. This is going to be our 5-match card. It's not horrible. You know, I think Dakota Kai and Shayna Baszler is a little bit weak, honestly, but the rest of the card isn't bad. We're going to try to improve, maybe. I don't even know if we have money to do anything. Yeah, it's kind of a problem. We are spent because we spent all that money over on Ciampa and with Shayna Baszler. I looked at trying to steal a superstar or wrestler from another company or from another brand. However, the guy I wanted, I'll be honest, was Seth Rollins. He's not available because he is the world champion, I do believe. So once Rollins loses the belt, we can steal someone from another brand. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Once Rollins loses the belt, because Rollins is the guy I want. Again, feuds that we can have with Rollins, Rhodes, McIntyre, Nakamura, right? Big E, Priest. I mean, okay, well, Priest is going to get the television championship back, so we're just playing hot potato with that. It's fine. Damian Priest is going to go into his next feud as the champion. Ciampa is going to go over Grayson Waller. That's fine. That's what we wanted. 3 stars. Okay. Candice LeRae, Rhea Ripley. Again, the future of the women's division, I don't know what it's going to be, but Rhea Ripley is going to win. The rivalry is going to continue, so I guess we're going to hold on to both of those two till the next pay-per-view cycle. Dakota Kai is going to win the rivalry against Shayna Baszler, and then the main event for the title, Cody, McIntyre, and still Cody Rhodes makes that successful defense of the belt against Drew McIntyre. So Rhodes will keep the title going into his next feud. I think from here, likely gonna do him and Shinsuke. I think that makes sense. Nakamura never really got his title shot after beating Big E in that contenders match, we'll call it, on the first card that we ran. So I think it's only fitting Nakamura now gets inserted into that world title picture against Cody Rhodes. I don't know what SmackDown is doing. Apparently Seth lost to Dominic Mysterio, so I think that should mean that we will be able to steal Seth Rollins away from SmackDown. New women's tag champs, Bliss and Stratton are going to win that, and the IC title Fatal 4-Way is going to go to Logan Paul, retaining the belt in the main event for Friday Night SmackDown. This is the show that's in first place. Again, I understand why Ilya Dragunov is the world champion. It's kind of cool, I'm not going to lie. Dragunov's going to win. They are letting a jobber cut promos on pay-per-view. Nice. Montez Ford, Julius Creed will go to Montez Ford. And then you got one half the tag champs over there, and Elton Prince cutting a promo, which is okay. Joe Coffey, Trick Williams, I believe, isn't Trick the US champion? I don't know why the belt's not on the line, but it is what it is. And then you've got Nathan Frazier and Ivar. I mean, that's a pay-per-view match, though. Like, I don't know. Nathan Frazier wins 2.5 stars. Main event for the women's tag titles. It will go to Charlotte and Natalya. They are the new women's tag team champions. I think we have the best card, though. Yeah, with the exception of, unfortunately, I believe, Ripley and LeRae, our card is really good. But I still think we're going to be in last place. As we look, we gain 100,000 fans. SmackDown gained more fans, and Raw gained more fans as well. So still, on paper, the game is telling us we have the worst card. I don't really see it. So here's the trade thing. I'm not going to make a trade just yet in terms of LeRae or Ripley because, their feud's still going. But this, though, makes a lot of sense. Dakota Kai and Shayna Baszler for Carmelo Hayes and Veer. Like, I'm going to take it. Veer has gone over Hayes a million times, but we can really use Carmelo Hayes, I think. And we have no use, honestly, for Dakota Kai and Shayna Baszler. So I'm going to take that trade. And then Raw wants to offer us their jobber for cash. I'm good. I don't want the jobber. So that will do it, folks, here for the first episode of GM Mode. Hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button down below if you want to see more daily GM Mode here on the channel. Thanks again for watching, and Mamba forever.